Hello everyone, welcome to the first Monday module of 2019. Today we're going to be talking about using Voiance language services, which is a really cool new tool that we are providing to you. We have Melissa Gomez here from the Office of Equity and Multicultural Services who's going to walk us through how to use this tool. And so I'm going to switch it over to her and we're going to open up our guides.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Melissa Gomez. Our Office of Equity and Multicultural Services, part of our role is providing language access. And so one of the tech tools that we have available are telephonic and video remote interpreters through Voiance. So really easy to log in. The resources are out there in your tools page. You will just type in www.voiance.com. Going to that page, and then on the right hand side there should be a red client login box. If you click on that, it will take you to an account management sign-in page. Here there's a username and passwords that are provided. I'm not going to be sharing these at this time, but they are available in your tools. What's the name of the tool? Yes, they're available in your tools. So you'll log in. And great thing that you can do is keep that quick start user guide right on your desktop, and then you can open it up. You can cut and paste the username and the password in so that you're not having any trouble with the login. It should go really smooth that way. If you do make a mistake, just try it again. You shouldn't get locked out. I've tried it numerous times and not had that happen. If you do, likely it's on that 20-minute or so wait, then go back and try it again. There's also at the bottom of the page information on how to contact Voiance itself and on their web page. So once you get logged in, it will give you the option of video or telephonic. Let's start with telephonic. That's what probably you'll be using most. One of the things that is nice about telephonic is that you can pre-schedule for those rare languages. We'll get to that in a moment. The first thing it's going to ask you is to enter your PIN. You can actually just start typing the name of your sister organization. And there we go. We have Centro Cultural right here as an example. And then employee ID is your sister ID number. Ignore that additional party phone for now. And then as you can see right now, it has Spanish. You can scroll through and see there's over 200 languages available. If you're going to be meeting with somebody with a more rare language, I would suggest that you consider pre-scheduling just because you're more likely to have it available. Some of the indigenous languages out of Central and Central America and Mexico are available. Mom being one out of Guatemala that we see here in Oregon. Nice that we have that available. So you will enter your phone number, and that's the number where you're at this moment that you want called back, because what happens is their system will dial you with an interpreter on the line or that interpreter coming on the line. So you'll go ahead, hit submit request, the little button on your right, and it will then dial you. So the things that you want to have ready in practice, if you're with the customer in the room, you can use this, or you can use the video if you have a laptop with your camera. If you're on the phone with somebody, then you're going to need to make sure you know how to conference call two calls in together so that you're ready to do that once you have that interpreter on the line. We're going to go back to the home page and look at the video option. Under video interpretation, one of the reasons that we brought this out was so that we would have instant access to communicating with deaf Oregonians. And so American Sign Language is one of the options, along with about 22 other spoken languages. You're going to enter your PIN. You can do that by typing your name. Then employee ID, again, is the sister ID number. Choose the language. And you'll notice that below the language, it'll show the schedule. The more common languages are going to show 24-hour availability, 7 days a week. So Spanish, Russian, Vietnamese, Arabic, those are going to have 24/7. Some of the more rare languages, you'll see where they're not necessarily available all the time, and you'll get an idea of scheduling there. So then over on the right side of the screen is the preview. It's showing you your camera, everything. You will just go ahead and start session. I'm not going to do it right now, but you will start the session. It might ask you to update your Flash player. If the organization you work for allows you to do that without a tech person, that's great. If they ask if one of your firewalls is that you can't do that yourself, you're going to want to say skip, like keep the old Flash player, and it'll say, are you sure you want to do that? Just click yes, and you should get your camera up, and an interpreter will come on the line. They're going to tell you their interpreter ID number at the start and ending of every call. And so then you will just move through and conduct your interview like you would with a real life person in the room. So the video is only available if your customer is with you, that it isn't for connecting two of you in two different locations. The telephonic you can use both with a customer with you or over the phone. So we have the cheat sheet guide that's here. It gives you some tips for working with interpreters. It also gives you the main PIN and account, or the main account number. The PIN is really where you're going to type your office name. If your office is not there, look for other, and there's actually one that you can choose. This is new organization. Choose that one. Quarterly Voiance is updating with all the assisters. So I think if you type in new, newly added organization. Thank you. Choose that if your company is not there, and then check for that quarterly, and that should be updated after a couple months. So your organization will be there. And then a couple of the questions that we had, you maybe questions going over the FAQs. This is available to you. Keep in mind, it's only for your work with the DHS clients that you're serving to get help with their medical applications. It doesn't replace any existing language resources that you had in the past and any of your bilingual workers. It is solely a way to address what was a really cumbersome workaround for people, and it was a barrier to services where you would have to call into the OHP lines and wait on hold and then get the interpreter on the line. This way you can do it directly. OHP is funding this at this time. They were paying for the other, they're paying for this. And so it is only for the work that you're doing with those clients. And what else are we forgetting? So if I should pre-schedule, if you're using the telephonic and it's a rare language, I do recommend pre-scheduling. The instructions are here. They're going to need to know, you're going to email support@seracom.com. They're going to want the language, the time, the date, your account information, and then the type of interviews, requesting interpretation for application interview. And
well, I just want to chime in here for the next bullet that this is only for certified community partners with an active assister ID, and it's only for when you're helping somebody with an OHP application. It's not for other services through your organization. And in addition to that, just to reiterate that this is not to replace existing language services that you have available to you. It is only to fill the gap of when an assister cannot help somebody because they don't speak that language. Instead of having to call the OHP processing center to get connected to language services, we can now bypass that middle person and you can access them directly. So it is really for where there was a gap before and to fill that gap.
It's really pretty easy. They sound intimidating, but just get there, try logging in. I think it's okay to go ahead and use a minute of the time to actually test it. I recommend you test the phone piece too, so you know how to conference call in the person if you're going to be calling them. And then my contact information, if you have questions or you get stuck, you're intimidated, I'd be happy to walk you through it. melissa.gomez@state.or.us or at dhsoha.state.or.us, both work. 503-947-2689, and we are happy we're able to help provide these services for the Oregonians that we serve.
I think that's it for us. So I hope you enjoyed this module and look for more soon.